If you're a fan of Haikyuu, you already know how beloved this manga is within the community, and how there are hundreds if not thousands of videos talking about how great the series is. I've always wanted to geek out over Haikyuu simply because it's one of my favorite, if not my #1 anime/manga series of all time. To make this video more interesting, I decided to create a fan art of Hinata Shoyo but reimagined as a tribal warrior. As an artist, I'll do my best to draw him in a way that feels both strong and interesting. If you haven't read or watched Haikyuu, it essentially follows the story of Hinata Shoyo, who dreams of becoming great in volleyball one day and defeating his rival Kageyama Tobio. However, in an unexpected turn of events, he discovers that he and Kageyama have enrolled in the same school, forcing former rivals to become teammates and learn how to win together. Before I talk more about Haikyuu, I want to explain why I drew Hinata as a warrior. I really love how Furudate Haruichi-sensei depicts the team and the characters in his manga. For example, Nekoma represents the cat, Ushiwaka is associated with the eagle, and Hoshiyumi represents the seagull. As for Hinata and his team, Karasuno, they're depicted as crows. That's why I drew Hinata with a crow as his companion in this illustration. Whenever I watch the series, I've always imagined the teams as hunters or warriors, since so many of the characters are symbolized by animals. It creates such a strong sense of rivalry, especially between teams like Nekoma and Karasuno. I added a few Easter eggs to this drawing. Hinata is wearing a ring that matches Kenma's hair color, and his necklace has the number 10 on it to represent his jersey in the series. I also included crow feathers as a part of his design. I intentionally kept his outfit simple and lightweight, without too many accessories, because I imagine Hinata as a fast and agile hunter. Speed is all he really needs. Lastly, I gave him a spear as his weapon. It's also been a long time since I have illustrated a drawing with colors and stuff. I've been trying to get back to the flow of drawing colored illustrations since I keep forgetting my fundamentals and the basics in art. I would love to explain my thought process in this video, but I'm currently burnt out and not in the states of being able to teach other people right now. I apologize for that. But there are so many online resources available to you to use in order to learn how to draw and color your illustration, and one of them is actually today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with an extensive library of classes made for creatives like you and me. Whether you want to learn the basics of Procreate, improve your video editing skills, or even start your own business, Skillshare has classes that can take you from beginner to pro, all within a supportive creative community. Even though I've been a professional artist for years, I still believe there's always more to learn. Lately, I've been using Skillshare to improve my skills and sharpen my fundamentals. One class I really enjoyed was Marco Bucci's Understanding and Painting the Head class. In this specific class, Marco Bucci teaches us how to draw the head using the Osaru Head 3D model. He breaks down each facial features with clear, in-depth explanations. I've been following this class for a while now, and it has helped me tremendously in how I construct heads and faces. If you don't believe me, here are some examples of my studies while watching the class. There's really no better way to learn than watching a skilled artist guide you step by step through the process. There are honestly so many hidden gems on Skillshare, and I highly recommend checking it out. The first 500 people to use my link in the description or scan the QR code will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so you can start watching the classes for free. Huge thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. What makes Haikyuu so great? The initial twist of Hinata and Kageyama being forced to be teammates despite their rivalry is compelling on its own, but what truly makes Haikyuu great goes far beyond that. Even though Haikyuu is a volleyball anime, it somehow doesn't feel like a typical sports anime. Instead, it feels like watching a family grow together. Let me explain. Furudate Haruichi, the creator of Haikyuu, wrote a volleyball story that goes deep into technical side of the sport. He explained the fundamentals, how the rules work, how players attack, receive, and defend. But what makes Furudate special is that he uses volleyball as a way to tell a story about people, about learning how to trust each other and how to become a true team player. Of course, that makes sense. Volleyball is a team sport. You cannot play it alone, you have to work with others and rely on your teammates. Themes like these are incredibly heartwarming, and Haikyuu is full of moments where you find yourself rooting for everyone, even the rivals of the main characters. Every team has its own story, no one is left behind, everyone is growing constantly. The manga and the anime will make you root for the rivals, not just the protagonist. But how does that work? If you find yourself wanting the other teams to win, doesn't that make the main characters less interesting? Well, not at all actually. You still want to root for them. What makes the manga so great is that even when you're cheering for the main characters, a part of you genuinely feels bad for the other team. That feeling slowly makes you want to root for them too. Maybe not right away, but eventually. In this series, whenever a team loses, you end up liking them whether you want to or not. Furudate makes everyone feel human, even the smallest side characters, figuratively speaking. But physically speaking, Hinata, the smallest middle blocker in the series, is probably the best written character in the entire story of Haikyuu. I'm not going to dive into the manga here, since the anime hasn't adapted everything yet, and I don't want to spoil anything for the anime-only viewers. However, I will talk about some moments from the anime, so if you haven't watched Haikyuu yet, proceed with caution. Hinata Shoyo, the subject of today's video, is in my personal opinion the best Haikyuu character ever written, and that's because he starts as the most incomplete character in the series and slowly grows into one of the most complete one. Think about it. In the very first season, Hinata barely knew the fundamentals of volleyball. All he could do was jump and spike. He couldn't even serve, block, receive, or feint. And yet, despite all of that, he still joined a tournament with his friends who didn't even play volleyball. But why enter a tournament without knowing the fundamentals of volleyball and pull your friends along? Friends who don't even know how to play? Well, that's because Hinata enjoyed playing volleyball. Volleyball is his passion. As long as he's playing, he's happy. When he loses, he's sad. He's sad not because of the loss, but because he doesn't get to play volleyball anymore. And when he wins, he's happy. He's happy not because he loves winning, but because it means he gets to play more, to stay on the court a little longer. Hinata breathes volleyball. When he's on the court, he's complete. That's the main reason why I love this character so much, and why I, as an artist, relate to him very much. Not just me, but you too, if you're an artist. Hinata enjoys volleyball despite not knowing everything about it. He enjoys every second he's on the court. It's his passion. And being passionate about what you do is what allows you to grow, not just as a player, but as a person. I think it's the same with art. Even if you don't know all the fundamentals yet, you can still enjoy it. There are so many philosophies you can take away from Haikyuu, but there's one quote in particular that really stuck with me. It's from Takeda-sensei in Season 4 Episode 2. He says to Hinata, "He who would climb the ladder must begin at the bottom. To become someone great, you must first begin humbly and then proceed one step at a time in the proper order." Takeda-sensei is basically telling Hinata to go back to the very basics if he truly wants to improve. In the first half of Season 4, Hinata doesn't even play volleyball, he just observes from outside the court. And that's honestly crazy because it's the exact same thing with art. Observation is one of the most important skills when it comes to drawing. Hinata first fell in love with volleyball during middle school, the moment he watched Karasuno play. When he saw the little giant jump and spike the ball over the blockers. That match lit something inside him. It's why he fell in love with jumping and spiking. He dreamt of becoming an ace, just like the little giant. But when Hinata realizes that spiking isn't the only joy volleyball has to offer, when he learns how to receive, how to read his opponents, and how to become a perfect decoy for his team, he falls in love with volleyball for the second time. Falling in love with your passion a second time is one of the most exhilarating feelings in the world. Hinata was able to do that because he returned to the basics, because he chose to observe from afar. Thanks to that, he started to get better, to get good. And for him, being good means being free. Step by step, Hinata began climbing the ladder, inching closer to becoming someone great.